Bismillah, alhamdulillah, sallallahu ala rasulullah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in ma ba'd. We're back with a line of the Burda, Sharifa, this blessed poem about our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. A poem that's accepted by Ahlu Sunna wal Jama'ah, the three schools of Aqeedah, the four schools of fiqh, the way of tasawwuf. The only ones that have a problem with this are the Salafiyah. But again, there's nothing wrong with this, like we mentioned before. And one of the lines that they seem to have a problem with is the line close towards the end that says, فَإِنَّ مِنْ جُودِكَ الدُّنْيَا وَضَرَّتَهَا وَمِنْ عُلُومِكَ عِلْمَ اللَّوْحِ وَالْقَلَمِ. So this line here, which translates to mean, from your bounty flows the goodness of this world and the next, and from your knowledge is the understanding of the lawh, which can be translated to mean the tablet, wal qalam, the pen. So what is the problem with this? Again, with regards to Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, there's nothing wrong with this. But for the people that don't understand, they have a problem with it. They say, how can you give the Prophet ﷺ knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? You're like comparing the knowledge of Allah. No one is doing that. Right? That's kufr and that's haram. Right? But first we have to understand that the lawh and the qalam are created. Right? The lawh and the qalam are created. Like the arsh is created. The Prophet ﷺ was created. Right? So only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is uncreated. Yeah, qadim and baqi subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there's nothing wrong with this at all. And the Prophet ﷺ even said that there was nothing that I was supposed to see except that I have seen it. So the Prophet ﷺ was definitely given knowledge of all things. He was given knowledge of all things, ﷺ, with regards to the creation, having this great knowledge. But with regards to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right, there's no beginning and end to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's knowledge. The Prophet ﷺ, like he has a beginning and an end, his knowledge has a beginning and end, ﷺ. Right? So again, but it really starts with understanding that the lawh and the qalam, the preserved tablet and this pen, are created. Right? Then there's no problem. Right? And this even goes back to this is what the created part of the Quran that we know that came down to the dunya comes from. Because we mentioned that there's the uncreated speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or kalam, that is a slif of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then it's the Quran that we know in the dunya, that's our speech, for example, in the mushaf. All that is created, all that is actually coming from the lawh al-mahfuz, right, which is created. Right, so if you understand it that way, there's definitely nothing wrong with this. Right, and again, they say apparently that this they've somehow made the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this lawh al-mahfuz, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created. So how can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's infinite knowledge with no beginning and end be contained in something that He created Himself subhanahu wa ta'ala? Right, and obviously these people just don't understand. And again, this whole poem is agreed upon by Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, and ignore these people that have these doubts about this blessed poem. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.